This is the German Touring Car Masters. Today, coming to you from Hockenheim, the last race weekend of the season. Hockenheim and the area around it. Quiet, idyllic. A typical German town. Well, not quite so typical. You see, besides all the beauty, all the structures, there's also a racetrack. A racetrack that has hosted all types of races from around the world. And the guests spend their time here in the village of Hockenheim. But today, it's not quite as quiet as it would seem. This is the last race weekend for the German Touring Car Masters. Hello, everyone. I'm Milt Fitzwater. Welcome to Hockenheim. The championship has been decided. Second place is up for grabs. But more importantly, some 65,000 fans are here to celebrate their touring car series. They come in all colors, all shapes and sizes to watch this man, Michael Bartels, who will be on the pole. Among all the other drivers who competed throughout the season in the German Touring Car Masters. The field is set to go. 22 cars. They'll run the qualifying race 6 laps around this 4.23-mile circuit. Fastest course that they'll run all season long.
Right now the conditions are very difficult. The circuit is not very dry and not very wet, so I don't know which tires we have to choose. I think under these conditions the main important thing is to stay on the track, especially with slick tires. I don't know really, because it's very difficult.
Here's how they're going to line up today here at Hockenheim. On the pole, Michael Bartels for the first time this season. The best start, of course, for an Opel. Patrick Husmann next to him in the best start for the Eschmann Mercedes team. On the next row, starting third, Bernd Schneider, Husmann's teammate, and then Mattias Ekström, the young Audi driver who's had such a spectacular season so far. Then come the teammates, Peter Dumbreck and Bernd Schneider. Schneider, man with the yellow mirrors, is already the champion for the series. Here we go, and we're underway. And Patrick Husmann gets the break on Michael Bartels. Husmann leads Michael Bartels into the first corner and down the long straightaway here at Hockenheim. As they head out into the back part of the course, car has gone off the course. A car has gone off the course, and this is Fessler. Fessler has gone off the course, and so is Jochen Winkelhock. Oh, and his car's badly damaged. Very badly damaged. And the rest of the field continues to work their way around here in the fall at Hockenheim. Heading now out onto one of the fastest part of the course. You can see the course is a little bit wet. They'll get up to speeds of 167 miles an hour down this long bending straight as they hit the east corner. Husmann out in front, then comes Bartels, then comes Mailänder. And the field continues to work its way around here beautifully. Ekström sitting in fourth, but the battle is going on right now all the way back in the pack. You can see Dumbreck and then Schneider trying to move up in the pack. We're in the first lap of 6 here in the qualifying race. Here's what happened in the back. Fessler bumped into Tomczyk and his race was over.
The problem was the tow bar was broken after the shunt with Tomczyk. We touched us in the first corner. He spun. I want to try to go on the right side to overtake him. He touched me on the rear wheel. So the toe was broken and we have to repair the whole thing.
There you get another look at it. They bump, it goes up. They're going to have time, though, to get the car ready for the second race if they can get it in to the pit area. Husmann is out in front, and this is Winkelhock coming back to the pit, and what a disappointing year it has been for him.
Immediately after the start of first corner, there was somebody was confused. A car spun in front of me, and I don't know who was it exactly. It was a Mercedes. He touched me in the rear right side, so I spun off into the barrier. The car now doesn't look so good anymore. The car is completely destroyed. So for me, the season is finished.
And a chance to look ahead and hope. There's what happens. You can see that orange car getting bumped from the back. He goes off into the wall heavily, comes back out, lucky that he isn't hit again, and then the car goes right back on the grass against the wall. Meanwhile, Husmann continues to lead with a big margin. He continues to pull away as the rest of the field straightens itself out here at Hockenheim. Coming into the Motordrome section, you can see the large lead that Husmann has over Michel Bartels, and Bartels has started on the pole. Husmann got a good jump at the beginning. Some thought it might have been a little bit of a jump start, but the officials didn't stop it, so Husmann is out in front. Dumbreck, Menu, what happened to Schneider? He was running up there somewhere. Oh, there he is. Bernd Schneider went off. The champion, decided last month actually, is off the course, and it looks like they're going to have to try to get that car back in the pits to get him ready for the second race. This will be a disappointment for him. It's one of the first times he's dropped out of a qualifying race. Husmann continues to roll here. Patrick, 32-year-old from the Netherlands. And there's what happened to Bernd Schneider. He went off, got up into that little part of the track that's still wet, went off the course. Lucky it wasn't more serious damage than that. And the pace car is out. The pace car is out, but way out early. Husmann and company are way in the back, so he's going to have to slow down and let everybody catch up. So he's supposed to pull out in front of the lead car. Here he comes, and now the pace car is going to have to wait to pick up Patrick Husmann. That's a shame for Husmann because he had picked up a big lead and had some comfort zone, and then all of a sudden that comfort zone disappeared. Marcel Fessler is back on the course. That was him you saw just a moment ago, so the car is running. And he is going to be able to get back into the pit area. The rest of the field coming around, waiting to catch up to the pace car here at Hockenheim, and a car has flipped over. One of the Audis has flipped over. Which one is it? It is the Audi of Aiello. Laurent Aiello's Audi flipped over. And the track crew is coming to him very, very quickly. And there he is. He's climbing out on his own. He's okay. Laurent Aiello, who in the beginning of the season was in the championship race, ends the season in a spectacular fashion. Laurent Aiello has destroyed the Audi, but the Audi's way it's built certainly protected him. The cage around the driver, there it is. He got off the course, the wheel dug into the gravel, and the car just started to flip. Oh, and you got a chance to ride with him with an onboard camera. Take a look. The car spins, hits the gravel, and now it starts to roll, and you get a complete view. So one of the top Audis is out of the pack. There he goes. Nothing happened to him. He just went off, and when he went off, the wheel dug in, and the car flipped over. Aiello's season is now behind him as he's walking to the pits. He had been in the battle for the second place, or actually third place, in the points race. So the unfortunate accident for Laurent Aiello means Alsen has secured second place. It was a tough ride, though, for the Frenchman.
The problem was that I was in inside of the corner where it was completely damp. I was expecting my teammate to let me go in the right line, but there was no space, and then I've lost the car and roll it.
So it's a tough qualifying race here in the last qualifying race of the 2001 season. Tomczyk is bringing his car in, and they're going to be checking out his car, see if they can get him ready for the second race. So the Audis, who had been so strong, are having their share of problems. And that's the Opel of Winkelhock, who had gone up against the wall. This is a very expensive last race. It's good they don't have to rebuild the cars for another weekend of racing. As we take a look at the cars coming around once again, that's the car of David Salins. You can see the damage that was done to his car. That was done early in the race, but he's still out there. Pace car is still out on the track. Huisman, your leader. Then comes Bartels. Then comes Mailander. And behind Mailander is Dumbreck. And behind Dumbreck is Ekström. Mattias Ekström, the 23-year-old Swedish driver. So shortly, the track should be cleared of all the debris for this rather exciting segment of the qualifying race. The object of the qualifying race is to set the field for the main race. Some drivers push a little harder than others, but as much damage to cars as we've seen here in the last few minutes, we have not seen almost all season long in a qualifying race. Very, very difficult. There are your top six. Uwe Alsen running back in 6th place in the Mercedes driver. Alsen's been battling all the way to learn the car, has done extremely well. Manuel Reuter, one of the top Opel drivers, is in 11th position. He's had a very disappointing season, as have all the Opel drivers so far. And there you see what the situation is. Aiello has dropped all the way back. Of course, he's out for the day. There was your pole sitter, who was beaten out at the start by that man right there, Patrick Huisman, the pole sitter being Michel Bartels. So we're still running under caution. Lights blinking on top of the safety car. This is the Schneider car. They're getting that into the pits. They'll have to do the repair work to see if they can get him out and ready to go for the main race. The pace car has let everyone know it's time to get started again. It will be Patrick Huisman who will have the right to get the jump here. He'll come around and see when he gets to see the light, and then he can go. And there he goes. And once again, a very good start for Patrick Huisman. He's had a season to rebuild a career. He started off as a very successful driver in other manufacturer series, and then he comes into this one, and he had to get used to the car, but now all of a sudden he's there, and his teammate, Mailander, is getting by Michel Bartels, and Dumbreck is going by. The Mercedes getting off to a great jump here. Michel Bartels, who had started on the pole, is now fighting for his life back in 4th position. Mattias Ekström is next to him, trying to move up another slot, as is Alsen. So Michel Bartels, who had had such a optimistic start, is all the way back in 4th. Now let's see what Uwe Alsen does. He's that black Mercedes with the red mirrors coming up behind the yellow Audi. As the rest of the field works its way around. Huisman, a good jump in front of his teammate Mailander. Then comes Peter Dumbreck. And then Michel Bartels. Ekström follows him. Then comes Alsen. Then comes Timo Scheider. Christian Abt. And bringing up the tail end, it looks like Olivier. But Patrick Huisman sailing here out in front. You're riding with Peter Dumbreck back on the course, as you can see the battle going on. He wants to get by Bartels and does. This is that restart after the safety car phase. And now it looks like the field has settled down as we're trying to bring the qualifying race to its conclusion. Huisman, Mailander, Peter Dumbreck, Michel Bartels, Timo Scheider, Mattias Ekström in that yellow Audi. And then comes Alsen, and Alsen's really being pushed by Christian Abt. These two have been fighting all season long, and of course after the race in Zandvoort, where Alsen passed him in the last corner of the last lap next to the last corner, to take the victory away from him. There's no love lost between these two. But now the checkered flag goes to Patrick Hoosman. His first victory of any kind in the German Touring Car Masters. Bernd Schneider is second, and then comes Dumbreck, Bartels, Schneider, Ekström, Alsen, Abt, and the rest of the field. So a great day for Mercedes after it looked like they were not going to be that well qualified. They came out and finished 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, Manuel Reuter came in 11th, and he's one of the top Opel drivers. But it was another great day for Mercedes.
Yeah, it was quite an exciting race, only 6 laps, but a couple of accidents, very spectacular. Well, it's for us now a very good pace for the race.
And here comes Michel Bartels, and next to him, Timo Schneider. Schneider, the young driver with a great future. He's being touted as another Formula One driver of the future. Bartels is going to have to figure out what happened and what went wrong. Teams go to work between races to get themselves ready for the feature event. That'll be 15 laps here on the Grand Prix course. This is the last time that they're going to run the Grand Prix course. It's going to be rebuilt and shortened through the woods. There is the Aiello car. The new course here at Hockenheim will be about 2.7 miles long. It's currently 4.2. They'll get rid of the long straights out in the back area. They're doing this basically for the Formula One series, which also runs here. So there's your winner of the first race, Patrick Hoosman, heading back out. And here's the starting lineup. They start according to how they finished in that race. Hoosman and Schneider starting first and second. Then comes Dumbreck and Bartels. So the Opel's still up there in front, although that's probably a little bit of a disappointment to them after they had started on the pole position. Timo Schneider and Ekström, two of the young drivers, in the third row. The fourth row made up of Mercedes and Audi, Alsen and Abt, the two drivers that love to battle each other. And the remainder of the field is being set. Hoosman comes into this, incidentally, to try to pick up his first big victory as they come around. He did not finish at the beginning of the season. He was 7th at Nürburgring. Ossersleben, he was 9th. 3rd at the Sachsenring. 7th at the Norris Ring. At the Euro Speedway, he was 5th. Nürburgring, 3rd. The 5th down in Austria, 4th in Zandvoort. So you can see how much better he's getting. And now he's won the qualifying race. And we're underway. And he gets the jump again. Or at least it looks like it is. If one of the cars goes off, yes, he does. Patrick Hoosman gets the jump ahead of Schneider. Dumbreck pulls into 3rd. Timo Schneider has moved into 4th. And a car has spun here. Mamero, the independent driver, has spun. Patrick Hoosman heading out on the long straightaway now. But look at this, the 4th car back. Timo Schneider, the 22-year-old German driver. Everyone is picking a great future for this young man. Into the first chicane. Hoosman, Schneider, Dumbreck, and a 3-car sandwich back in the pack. That's straightened out. A little bit of bunching way back in the pack. And Michel Bartels just continues to drop back after his great pole position. It is kind of surprising that he's had the problem, because when he took the pole, he did it totally without any windscreen for any drivers. There was no slipstreaming at all. He did it by himself, and everybody thought, gee, that car is going to run. But he's sitting back now and battling for a good position here as we get underway in the main race. You're riding with Uwe Alsen as he's trying to move up on Michel Bartels, who's on the left side of him right now. As we take a look back in the pack here, Mamero bumped into Olivier, and then Mamero was the one that spun. And Hoosman once again gets a great jump. The man from the Netherlands in the last race of the season, proving that he certainly belongs in the German Touring Car Championship. And as we noted as the race started, he's done nothing but get better since the midpoint of the season. 7th, 5th, 3rd, 5th, 4th. Amazing. those are the finishes in the main race. And here he is out in front. This is the race for drivers like Huisman to prove that they belong and want a contract again for next year. Bartels has dropped all the way back to 7th place. Reuter has lost a position from 11th until 12th. Bernd Schneider, who started back in the pack, your champion and defending champion, is way back in 15th, but he started 19th, so he's made up 4 positions here. The slipstreaming is going on. There's Bernd Schneider right in the middle of your screen, right going by the gray Mercedes with the yellow mirrors. He wants to move up. He may have the title and everything else, but he certainly wants to continue to move up. He got inside, but is he going to get by? He's upside Christian Albers and gets by him. So Schneider is by Albers, and ahead of him is Albers' teammate, Thomas Jaeger. And there's the Mamaro car coming into your screen, losing parts on the course. Now that could be dangerous, some of these parts getting into those tires. The main piece seems to have blown off. Hope there aren't any small pieces out there that can bite into a tire and end a race day real quick here. Michel Bartels, get a look at his Opel as he continues to roll, but right now the top Opel is Timo Scheider. You're riding back in the pack once again with Uwe Alsen. The German driver who's had to literally battle himself and the Mercedes getting used to it after coming to Mercedes from Opel last year. But now he's proven himself. He's won a couple of races. And he certainly is no one to mess with when you're going to want to try to pass. He's not afraid of saying, hello, I'll bump you too. Get a good look at the course here at Hockenheim coming into the long straightaway in front of the pit area. Coming out of this, you have a right-hander. And then you head back out into the woods. And there goes David Salins off the course. Salins in the Service 24 Mercedes, but he got off into the grass, so he should be able to get back on. Well, he also got a little bit of a spin here. If he gets the car straightened out, he get back on the course. Salins came into the season about the 3rd race when Pedro Lamy left the team. There's Timo Scheider, the young German driver. And he is currently battling with Matthias Ekström. Ekström right behind him. So Huisman, Mailander, Mercedes, and a 3rd Mercedes with Dumbrecht. Then comes Scheider, Ekström, Uwe Alsen, Bartels all the way back to 7th. Darren Turner has moved up to 8th position. That's good for him. Reuter's picked up a spot up into the 11th slot. And look at Bernd Schneider. He's in 12th. He had started way back in the pack in 19th position. So he is now 12th in the field and continuing to roll. In fact, he's the last car in this 4-pack right here. Manuel Reuter is the car right in front of him, that yellow and white Opel. And Schneider is going to have to work his way to get by that group. That's not an easy group to get by. But he's pulling up on Manuel Reuter. Schneider and Reuter, 2 of the veterans of the German touring car scene. Manuel wants to get by Christian Abt, but he also has to keep Bernd Schneider at bay. He's got his hands full. And Abt comes up against Manuel and bumps him. So Manuel is off the course. And the question is, can Manuel Reuter take advantage of the slowed down situation of the Audi ahead of him? There's Uwe Alsen. Alsen now is running in the 6th place, but here's the battle going on back in the pack. Timo Scheider leading this pack here as Alsen is getting by Ekström, and they do. So Uwe Alsen has moved up another slot. Ekström goes off, and so does Uwe Alsen. Oh, this is a day for everybody going off course. At least on this case here, everybody stayed out there and was able to keep going. That came to the disadvantage of Manuel Reuter, who had pulled up a little space between himself and Bernd Schneider, and Reuter slowed down. Look at that. Schneider pulls right up on the back bumper again. Schneider, who's proven to be one of the more difficult drivers to hold back, I guess would be a nice way to phrase it. No matter where you put him in the field, he just seems to battle his way to the front. He's come from all the way back in the back to win eventually. Amazing. And Timo Scheider's car has pitted. Oh, what a shame. The young driver had done so well here in the feature race, and now he's got problems. Something's wrong with the car, obviously. But his race day is over. But the battle remains back here in the pack. That's Ekström, followed by Reuter, followed by Bernd Schneider. And we have pit stops to come yet. The mandatory 4 tire change pit stops have to come yet. Working our way through the pack, Ekström, Reuter, and Bernd Schneider. Actually, this is a great accomplishment for Schneider just to be this far forward. And with cars falling out, it's truly amazing. Well, a little bit of a tap there. The question was there an original tap? It's hard to see. There's what happened. Manuel goes off, but the battle now is up front. Uwe Alsen back in the pack. And there you get Michel Bartels going by. As Ekström goes off the course. Alsen had also gone off the course. Busy day here. Here comes Schneider inside of Manuel Reuter, and he's by him. So Bernd Schneider continues to roll here as the top 3 are out in front as Husmann, Mailander, and Dumbrecht. They've led from the start. 3 Mercedes. But it's almost time to go to the pits. Bartels in 4th. Alsen is now 5th. Reuter is up into 7th with Schneider in 8th. Wow. So Bernd Schneider's done a great job. They have gotten by Christian Abt. And the pit stops have started. And a car stalls, going out. What a shame. That is the Ekström car. He had been running so far up front, and now all of a sudden, a stall pit can ruin you in this series. Remember, it's a mandatory pit stop. Have to change all 4 tires. He's out, but he lost valuable time. Here you see Patrick Husmann and how they're using the curbs here. The car bounces everywhere. They use every bit of the racetrack plus more to get the most out of the car. And Husmann certainly showing his talents here at Hockenheim. Bernd Mailander, another story this season, missed 3 race weekends after he injured his foot in a training accident. He was working out, hurt his foot, and had to sit out for 3 races. Marcel Tiemann came in and did a great job in the car, which put pressure on Mailander when he came back. And now look at Mailander. He's sitting in 2nd place here in the final race of the season. Mailander certainly has not had what you'd call, though, the greatest of seasons. Besides the fact that he had the injury and missed those 3 races, he's also had a DNF and a DNS. Did not finish and did not start in the last couple of races in the main feature events. So he's had his problems. But now, Mailander is taking the lead as Husmann heads into the pits. Patrick Husmann, this is the key one now. He needs to get in and get out as quick as he can, knowing that the rest of the field has to pit, and he has to then make up that difference on the track. All 4 tires have to be changed. Uh-oh. They've got a problem with the back tire. Something's wrong. Oh, what a shame. This is valuable time that Husmann is losing. And he's losing the race right here with a problem with the back tire. Oh my, he's out. But now the question is going to be, how bad is it? Coming back out on the track, he had the opportunity to hold that lead, comes back out, but he is down on time, seriously down on time. Mailander has taken the lead on lap 6. And Husmann is dropping all the way back. It looks to be on the chart at about 10th position. But everybody else still has to pit, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. He's actually dropped back a little further than that. But now we have to wait and see where we get to in this one, because it's now critical. That is Olivier going off. The leader is Bernd Mailander. And the question is going to be, who's going to be able to pit where here? Mamro and Salins. And that's why Mamro went off. He and Salins bumped. Quite frankly, a lot of drivers want to prove they belong, and they're not holding back anything here. Dumbreck, who had been running third, in and out. All the leaders are starting to pit right now. This is the big time for everyone. There comes Mailander out, and he's still out in front. After the pit stop, and because Husmann had the long pit stop, Bernd Mailander came back out in front. Darren Turner with problems getting back onto the course. But there's your leader, Hubert Haupt. Still out on the circuit, but he's been lapped. There comes Mailander. The rest of the field sorting itself out very nicely, but Dumbreck has come out right behind Mailander, so those are your top two cars. Now, Mailander is the second in the row here. That's Darren Turner ahead of him. Then comes Mailander. Then comes Hubert Haupt, who's being lapped. And then comes the second place car right there. Dumbreck will look like he was making the move on Hubert Haupt. So the Eschmann team coming back in a big way here. Out in front, have won the qualifying race, leading in the main race here at Hockenheim. Once again, Uwe Alsen, he goes off the course. Boy, he's been battling that car today. He and Michel Bartels bumped. So Alsen is having his day of difficulties keeping the car on the course. There's Darren Turner, but there's your leader, Bernd Mailander. Mailander had a great pit stop. He now is out in front with a nice little lead over Peter Dumbreck. Darren Turner is actually running in third place going into the pits, though. Schneider has moved all the way up into 5th position after starting in 19th. An amazing way to go. Alsen sitting in 6th. Reuter, who was back in 11th and 12th position, has moved up into 7th in the Opel. The field continues to sort itself out after the pit stop break here in the German Touring Car Masters at Hockenheim, the season finale. There's Olivier in the pits. And he's gone. Next year, there'll be 11 races on the season, 4 of them planned outside of Germany. Promises to be another exciting year. Here's the battle back in the pack with Schneider and Alsen. Schneider trying to get by him on the inside. Does it work here? Alsen had dropped back away, so Schneider must have picked it up somewhere, and this must be it here. They are running as close as you want to get without touching. Amazing driving. Bernd Schneider, your leader. Then comes Peter Dumbreck, Hubert Haupt. We've passed the halfway point. And there is Bernd Schneider, Uwe Alsen, Manuel Reuter, and Michael Bartels. The three drivers behind Schneider certainly have a lot to prove this season. And in particular, Reuter and Bartels want Opel to have at least a strong finish heading into next year. It's been a terrible year for Opel. You can't make it a pretty scene at all. They have had a hard year all year long. They have really not been that competitive. And for one of them to finish on the 1, 2, 3 position and make it to the podium after the race, that would be an accomplishment and a way to look forward next year with a very positive outlook. Right now you're riding with Uwe Alsen heading out into the back of the pack. Alsen is the second car in the 4 cars you're seeing here on the screen. Schneider changed the rear view mirror on that one side. Normally he has 2 yellow mirrors, and one was changed after he went off into the tires the first lap of the qualifying race. Schneider, Alsen, Reuter, and Bartels. Then comes Husmann after that miserable stop. He is in 8th position, but pretty much out of the chase for the title unless some more dramatic things happen here. For the championship, I mean, of today's race here at Hockenheim. Bernd Schneider, the dominator all season long. Last couple of races have been battles for him, but the pressure is certainly off when he won the title earlier. There's Husmann really pushing. Gosh, he wants to move up. He probably upset at his crew, himself, and everybody else, and wants to use up every bit of the track he can to try to get back up toward the lead, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Dumbreck going into the lower part of your screen. Here comes Bernd Schneider, Uwe Alsen, Manuel Reuter, and Michael Bartels. And Bartels is falling back. Reuter is staying up on the bumper of Alsen. This could be an interesting battle right through all the way, because Schneider is not going to back off, obviously. He has the title, but the man wants to win no matter what the situation is. And when you consider he started 19th and is running 4th at this moment, truly amazing. Well, now he's running 3rd. Hubert Haupt has pitted. So Bernd Schneider, who started 19th, is running 3rd. Amazing. And Bartels got a stop and go. He got a stop and go penalty too fast on pit lane, and, well, that kind of takes his day away from him. He's now going to have to make up that difference, which will be impossible at this point of the race. So Bartels, who had so optimistically started for himself and for Opel, drops back in the pack. Meanwhile, Bernd Schneider continues to roll. He was in 2nd place for the first 5 laps, took the lead in the 6th lap, and then held the lead through the pit stop, and has led ever since. Dumbreck, who is now running 2nd, had been running 3rd going into the 5th lap. Then Husmann went to the pits. Dumbreck moved up into 2nd position and has been sitting there ever since. Husmann and his crew have to be kicking themselves immensely here. And Bernd Schneider, boy, what a great race he's had, running in 3rd position. And the Olivier car has gone off. That's the team car with Manuel Reuters, the Opel. He's had a very, very difficult year in his first year in the German Touring Car Masters. The car went off, obviously something wrong with it. So all the Opel drivers looking forward to next year and certainly have a lot to prove. And Bernd Schneider. Boy, this is finally a great culmination of the season for him. He drives the pace car in Formula One, and he's had an up and down year, more down than up in the German Touring Car Masters, and now all of a sudden he's leading the final race of the season. And the Mercedes crew has dominated again. And if you looked at qualifying, you wouldn't have believed it. But now they're running 1 through 4. And the yellow and white Opel is Manuel Reuter. He is 2 positions away from a podium spot, a chance for Opel to stand up on the winner's podium. But he's got a lot of work ahead of him to get that far. Particularly, he'd have to get by this man, Uwe Alsen, the man you're riding with here at Hockenheim. Alsen is tough to get by. And as we've seen in the last couple of races, he doesn't hold back. So Schneider, Alsen, Reuter, as we work our way down to the final laps here at Hockenheim on the Grand Prix course, the last race on this version of the Hockenheim circuit. The long course will disappear. What was 4.2 miles will become 2.7 miles. They'll cut it right in the middle through the wooded area, cutting out the 2 long straightaways. Look at them use the curbs and everything to hold on to their position. Manuel Reuter wants by Alsen. And Alsen's giving up no space whatsoever. Alsen is going to be tough to pass. And this is a real difficult time for Opel. They need some success. Here they go into the corner. And Reuter and Alsen are bumping. Oh, remnants of last race. Except it was Abt and Alsen. This time it's Reuter, who was not to be stopped. He gets by. So Manuel Reuter moves up a slot, and Opel has a chance to possibly get up on the podium. Reuter is running 4th. It would be a psychological win for Opel. The 3rd place car is right there in front of him. Reuter can see him. Reuter's got some room between himself and Uwe Alsen. Obviously, the Alsen car was getting slower, the Opel quicker. And now, the battle comes down to Manuel Reuter and can he catch the champion, Bernd Schneider. The laps are running out. Watch this. Inside goes Reuter. Alsen had gone a little high. Nobody's holding back here. Enough bumping to handle anybody. Going back and forth, and this is where Reuter takes advantage. Right here. Ooh, and the smoke coming from tires rubbing. The question is, did the tires rub and go down? Well, we'll wait and see. There's the pass right there from Uwe Alsen's view. So Manuel Reuter was not to be denied here. But can he catch this man in front of him, Bernd Schneider? Time really is running out. Only a couple of laps left. The top 2 seem to be pretty well set. Mailander out in front. Dumbreck behind him. But this is where the battle is. And this is another battle going on in the back. Husmann and Alsen. And Husmann goes into the sand. Is he going to get out? Alsen is on the grass and out. And he's going to fall way back. Alsen is going to fall way, way back. And certainly will be out of contention here. Wait and see how they come across the line here. But he's going to drop several places back. Husmann walks away from his car. Has to be a great disappointment for him. Alsen has dropped back all the way to 13th. Husmann wanted to go inside. Alsen gave him absolutely no room. Husmann spun. Alsen kept the car going. He's going to have to get through the sand, and that's the trick, the gravel. And here he goes. You get the chance to ride with him. You know he wants to get to that grass. Once he's on the grass, he can get back out onto the course. But there is Patrick Guzman. He has to be very, very disappointed. But he made his point. He won the qualifying race, led in this race until the crew had a problem with the back tire and threw him way back in the pack. Mailander now out in front. The second place car right here, Peter Dumbreck. But this is the man of the race, Bernd Mailander. He was 9th at Hockenheim in the opening race of the season, 20th at the Nürburgring, still learning the car. Then he had the injury and was out, missing Oschersleben, Sachsenring, and the Norris Ring. Coming back at the Euro Speedway, he was 13th, at the Nürburgring 7th, which up to this point was his best. Then in Austria, he didn't finish, and in Zandvoort, he didn't start the main race. Now here at Hockenheim, he qualified third, finished second in the qualifying race, and is leading here in the main race. So Bernd Mailander is making up for what has been a very difficult season. Now he just has to bring it home. Of course, he also has to now go through it all, hoping that nothing happens to the car. It's just now a matter of driving it home. Dumbreck is not pushing him. They're in the final lap. A little less than 4 miles to go. And Bernd Mailander will have his first victory in the German Touring Car Championship. He has won in other series. We mentioned he's the pace car driver in Formula One. And now he's about to go into his first victory lane in the German Touring Car Masters. Peter Dumbreck is satisfied with second place. In this position, Dumbreck will finish third in the points race. Schneider won it, Alson second, Dumbreck will finish third. And if Fessler can finish this race, he will be 1 point ahead of Laurent Aiello to take over fourth. Aiello, who flipped his car in the qualifying race, will drop back to fifth in the points race. And looking ahead here, if it goes like it is, Mercedes then will have 15 total wins. 7 in qualifying, 8 in the race. Audi has won the only other races. Opel did not win a victory. The Eschmann team, the way they're going here, will finish third in the team championship. The D2 AMG Mercedes team, that's the Bernd Schneider team, finished first. The Warsteiner team came in second. That's with Uwe Alson. And then comes the Eschmann team here with Mailander and Guzman. And then fourth will be the Abt Sportsline team. But now it's time for Bernd Mailander to smile and enjoy the fruits of victory. It takes a whole season to get there, but here he takes the checkered flag in the German Touring Car Masters, the final race of the season. And it's a very happy crew that meets him. Dumbreck pulls up alongside. Bernd Mailander can smile now. Dumbreck second. Schneider with a great drive finishing third. Manuel Reuter just missed out, coming in fourth position. Fessler, after the incident in the first race, coming up and finishing fifth. A great finish for him. And there's the remainder of the field here in the final race of the season here on the long course at Hockenheim. And of course, the happiest man of the day certainly has to be Bernd Mailander.
Ich kann's noch gar nicht so ganz.
I really just can't believe it, but it's a wonderful feeling, and you could get used to it. The last 2 or 3 laps were the longest of my life. Hockenheim was 10 kilometers long a lap, and now it's 6.8 kilometers. It was a wonderful feeling here, particularly the last lap here in the Motordrome, and to know nothing more can happen. I believe that I have a 4.5 second lead. I thought that all I had to do was drive home to the finish. It was a wonderful feeling. And right behind him, Peter Dumbreck. Dumbreck can also smile when he heads home tonight.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I think now I'm third in the championship also, so it's a good result and a great relief for me to get the extra position because I've had a few bad races now, and now I get back on the podium, and it's a great feeling.
And there it is, as the fans celebrate the final race of the season in the German Touring Car Masters. Bernd Schneider, long the champion already. Uwe Alsen second. Dumbrek, as he said, moved up to third. And look at that, Marcel Fessler moves into fourth. And there's the rest of the championship. Manuel Reuter coming in ninth. Of course, as we mentioned, it was a very disappointing year for the Opel crew. But the man of the year is certainly Bernd Schneider.
I was on the podium every race except Nürburgring, where we had a problem doing the pit stop. And I think there will be no way to top this in next year. But I'm really looking forward now for next year, because all the others, the Opels and the Audis, getting stronger, and all my teammates are very quick in the end of the season. That means it will be a tough season next year.
And that does it for our coverage of the German Touring Car Masters 2001. I'm Milt Fitzwater. Hope you'll join us next year when the German Touring Car Masters returns.